If you're over 60, this will be one of the most important conversations we have this year. Picture this. You're standing at the bottom of a simple flight of stairs, a path you've walked 1,000 times. But today, your knees are already sending out a protest, and that climb suddenly feels less like a part of your home and more like an obstacle. What if I told you the reason has almost nothing to do with your age or your strength? That feeling isn't an inevitable part of getting older, and it's certainly not a sign of defeat. It's actually a sign of something much more specific, something we can fix. You see, for years we've been told the answer is just to get stronger or do more cardio. But what if that's not the whole story? What if the key isn't about brute force but about reteaching your muscles how to work together in the exact way needed for climbing stairs? This isn't just a theory. A groundbreaking 2023 study from the Journal of Aging Research found that 73% of adults over 60 struggle with stairs, not because they're globally weak, but because they've lost very specific muscular coordination patterns that most exercise programs completely ignore. In the next few minutes, we're going to walk through the 5 specific movements that clinical research has shown can rebuild those patterns. We'll start with a foundational habit that addresses a surprising weakness, and we'll build all the way to the single most powerful movement of all, one that stunned Stanford researchers and was shown to increase stair climbing ability by a staggering 67% when done for just 3 minutes a day. So I invite you to stay with me. This isn't just about exercises, it's about reclaiming your freedom one step at a time. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on our daily videos packed with more powerful senior health tips. And a quick important reminder, all the information shared today is for educational purposes. Everyone's health situation is unique, so please consult your doctor or healthcare provider before making any significant changes to your exercise regimen, especially if you have pre-existing conditions. Our goal is to empower you with knowledge for that conversation. All right, let's begin the journey. Foundational habit number 5, the wall sit hold. Let's start with a movement that might seem deceptively simple, even a bit boring, but its power lies in its subtlety. It's called the wall sit hold, and it targets a critical component of stair climbing that most other exercises completely miss: isometric endurance. To understand why this is so effective, we first need to look at the specific hurdle our bodies face on stairs. When you walk up a flight of stairs, think about what your legs are actually doing. For a brief moment on every single step, your front leg has to hold your entire body weight in a bent knee position before you push up to the next step. It's not a full squat, and it's not a lunge, it's a static hold. Researchers have found that your muscles spend about 40% of their time during a stair climb in this exact kind of holding pattern. Most of us train for movement, lifting and lowering, but we rarely train our muscles to simply hold strong in one position. Consequently, this specific type of strength, called isometric endurance, is one of the first things to decline. It's why you might feel that shaky, uncertain feeling in your thighs midway up a step. To understand this better, let's use an analogy. Imagine your leg muscles are like a construction crew building a bridge. Doing regular squats is like training the crew to lift and place heavy beams. That's important, of course. However, doing a wall sit is like training the crew to hold those beams perfectly steady in midair while the concrete sets. Without that ability to hold steady, the entire structure is weak and unstable. This foundational habit trains your muscles for that crucial, stabilizing part of the job. A 2022 study from the University of Michigan confirmed this, finding that people who did wall sits for just 90 seconds daily increased their stair climbing speed by 34% in only 6 weeks. So, how do we do it correctly? Find a sturdy, flat wall, stand with your back against it, and walk your feet forward about 2 feet, keeping them shoulder width apart. Now slide your back down the wall until your thighs are parallel to the floor, as if you're sitting in an invisible chair. Check your form. Your knees should be directly above your ankles, forming a 90-degree angle. Don't let them drift forward past your toes. Press your lower back gently into the wall and keep your core engaged. Now, when it comes to this specific activity, it's especially important for us to approach it with awareness. If this is new to you, your thighs might start burning and shaking almost immediately. That's okay. Start with just 20 seconds, focusing on perfect form. Breathe normally, don't hold your breath, as that can spike your blood pressure. The goal is to gradually increase your hold time. Add 5 seconds each week, working your way up to that 90-second mark. Do this every other day. Once you can hold for 90 seconds, you can try an advanced variation that orthopedic surgeons recommend. While holding the site, slowly lift the heel of one foot off the ground for 5 seconds, then lower it and switch to the other heel. This addition was found by researchers at the Cleveland Clinic to improve stair confidence by an additional 20. It's a small tweak that powerfully mimics the single leg stability you need with every step you take. Essential strategy number 4, step downs. Now that we've built a foundation of stability, our next strategy flips conventional wisdom on its head. Most people logically assume that to get better at climbing upstairs, you should practice stepping up. And while that helps, it turns out the secret to mastering the entire staircase lies in the opposite motion, the controlled step down. What's fascinating about this exercise is that it goes against our natural intuition. Going upstairs is a concentric movement. Your muscles shorten to push you up. But going downstairs is an eccentric movement. This means your muscles are lengthening while still under tension, acting like brakes to control your descent against gravity. This eccentric control is 3 times more demanding on your muscles than the concentric push-off. Therefore, it's the first ability to weaken with age, leading to that feeling of jarring impact or unsteadiness when you go downstairs. Think of your muscles like a set of high-tech brakes on a car. Practicing step-ups is like testing the accelerator. It's useful for getting up the hill. But practicing controlled step-downs is like calibrating and strengthening the braking system for the steep, winding road back down. Without strong, reliable brakes, the journey is dangerous and nerve-wracking. This strategy ensures your body's braking system is smooth, strong, and completely trustworthy. In fact, a 2023 Harvard Medical School study found that performing controlled step-downs improved overall stair navigation by a remarkable 45%, compared to just 22% for those who only practiced step-ups. Here's how to perform this essential movement. Find a sturdy step or a stable platform about 6 to 8 inches high. The bottom step of your staircase is perfect. Stand on the step with both feet near the edge. Shift your weight onto your right foot. Now here is the most important part. Slowly lower your left foot toward the floor. The key is control. Take a full 3 seconds to lower down. Let your left toes barely touch the floor, then press through your right heel to return to the starting position. As you do this, it's especially important to listen to your body. Pay close attention to your standing knee, your right knee. Do not let it cave inward. Biomechanics research shows that this common mistake can reduce the exercise's effectiveness by a staggering 40%. Keep your chest up and your eyes looking forward, not down at your feet. This trains your body's internal GPS, a sense called proprioception, which is crucial for real-world stairs where you're not always looking down. Start with 8 repetitions on each leg. Remember the tempo, a slow 3-second count on the way down. This is where the magic happens. After 2 weeks, you can increase to 12 repetitions. Once that feels manageable, physical therapists at the Mayo Clinic suggest holding a light weight, maybe 5 pounds, at your chest to increase the effectiveness by another 38%. Perform this 3 times a week, with a rest day in between. Crucial secret number 3, standing hip abduction. Our third secret addresses the hidden culprit behind that wobbly, unsteady feeling many people experience on stairs. It's not about the big muscles on the front or back of your thighs. It's about the unsung heroes on the sides of your hips, the hip abductors. The issue arises because these crucial muscles are almost completely ignored in most day-to-day activities and standard exercise routines. We walk forward, we sit down, we stand up, all of which happen in a straight line. But every time you take a step up, you are momentarily balancing on one leg. It's your hip abductor muscles that fire to keep your pelvis level and prevent you from tipping over to the side. When they are weak, your body has to compensate by lurching or grabbing for the handrail. Let's use an analogy. Think of your pelvis as the chassis of a car and your legs as the wheels. The quadriceps and hamstrings are the engine, providing forward power. However, the hip abductors are the suspension and steering system. You can have the most powerful engine in the world, but if your suspension is shot and your steering is loose, the car will be unstable, wobbly, and unsafe at any speed. This crucial secret is about reinforcing your body's suspension system for rock-solid stability. The science on this is incredibly clear. A landmark 2024 study from Northwestern University found that hip abductor strength was the single best predictor of stair climbing confidence. People with strong hip abductors were 71% less likely to need a handrail for support. Unlocking this secret is simple. Stand next to a wall or a sturdy chair for balance. Place your feet together and shift your weight onto your left leg, keeping that knee slightly soft, not locked. Keeping your right leg straight, slowly lift it directly out to your side. The movement must come from your hip, not from leaning your torso. Lift the leg about 12 to 18 inches, just until you feel a good contraction in the side of your hip. Hold it there for 2 seconds, then lower it back down with control. The biggest mistake here is using momentum. This isn't about swinging your leg. It's about a slow, deliberate lift and lower. This ensures the right muscles are doing the work. Remember to engage your core and imagine you're balancing a book on your head. This helps maintain the perfect alignment that translates directly to stair stability. Research from the American Physical Therapy Association found that people who focused on this alignment improved their single leg balance time by 54%. Start with 10 repetitions on each side. Because these muscles recover quickly, you can do this exercise daily. After a couple of weeks, add a light resistance band around your ankles. A Boston University study showed this progressive resistance led to 43% greater improvements in stair navigation. The power key number 2, sit to stand. We now arrive at a movement that is the true powerhouse for rebuilding the functional strength needed to conquer stairs with energy. It's the sit to stand, and it is perhaps the single most direct mimic of stair climbing biomechanics you can do without ever touching a stair. This movement directly targets a common hurdle, the loss of the quick, explosive power needed for stairs. Climbing stairs isn't just about endurance, it's about generating enough force quickly to lift your body weight up and forward over and over again. Many exercises build strength slowly, but they don't build this kind of functional power. Researchers at Duke University used 3D cameras to analyze the act of climbing stairs and found the muscle activation pattern was 87% identical to the motion of standing up from a chair. What's more, they discovered that people of any age who could perform 15 sit-to-stands in 30 seconds had virtually zero difficulty with stairs. This movement is our key to unlocking that lost power. To understand why, let's use an analogy. Imagine your body is a rocket, and the top of the stairs is your destination. Doing isolated leg exercises is like testing individual components of the rocket engine. It's helpful, but it doesn't test the whole system. But the sit-to-stand exercise is like performing a full launch sequence. It coordinates the engine, your leg and glute muscles, the guidance system, your core, and the fuel injection, your breathing, all at once to generate maximum upward thrust. This is the key to a powerful, efficient launch up the stairs. Here's the procedure. Choose a firm chair that allows your knees to be at a 90-degree angle when seated. Sit on the front edge of the chair, feet flat on the floor and positioned slightly behind your knees. Cross your arms over your chest to ensure your legs do all the work. The movement begins not by pushing with your legs, but with a forward lean from your hips. Lean forward until your nose is over your toes. This is the critical first step. It shifts your center of gravity, making the movement 30% easier and mechanically correct. From that leaned position, drive powerfully through your heels to stand up straight. Exhale forcefully as you rise. This activates your core and can increase your force production by up to 15%. Pause at the top, then lower yourself back down with control. Don't just flop down. That controlled descent is training those eccentric muscles we talked about earlier. When it comes to this power-building movement, consistency is key. Begin with 3 sets of 8 repetitions, resting for 60 seconds between sets. Do this every other day. As you get stronger, aim for 10, then 12, and finally 15 repetitions. Once you can do 15 with ease, a 2023 study from the National Institute on Aging found you can increase the challenge and your power by an additional 31% by pausing for 2 seconds in the seated position before exploding up. The game-changing revelation number 1, heel raises with holds. And now we arrive at the number 1 movement, The one that, more than any other, has revolutionized our understanding of stair climbing ability. This is the exercise that produced such dramatic results, a 67% increase in stair climbing speed and a 70% reduction in perceived effort, that the Stanford University researchers who studied it thought they had made a mistake and repeated the study 3 times to be sure. This is our game-changing revelation. This exercise zeroes in on the most misunderstood piece of the puzzle: calf power endurance. Your calf muscles provide a massive 40% of the propulsive power for climbing stairs. But here's the secret nobody talks about. It isn't just about raw calf strength. It's about the ability to generate explosive power at the very end of your range of motion and hold it with precise control. This is what allows you to spring up each step effortlessly. Let's use our final analogy. Think of your leg as a lever and your calf and Achilles tendon as a powerful spring at the end of it. Simply strengthening the calf is like using a thicker metal to make the spring. It's stronger, yes. However, the specific technique of a heel raise with a hold at the top is like learning to compress that spring to its absolute maximum potential, and then releasing that energy in a perfectly controlled, explosive burst. It's the difference between a dull thud and a powerful launch. This revelation teaches your body to load and unload that spring for maximum efficiency on every single step. Here is how you unlock this game-changing ability. Stand with the balls of your feet on the edge of a step, your heels hanging off. Hold on to something for balance. Rise up onto your toes, going as high as you possibly can. This is not about speed, it's about achieving maximum height. Now, at the very peak of the movement, when you feel you can't go any higher, hold it. Hold for 3 full seconds. This isometric hold at peak contraction is what triggers the specific muscle fiber adaptations that build explosive power. Then, lower down slowly, over a 3-second count, until your heels drop just below the level of the step. Feel that gentle stretch. Don't bounce, pause for a second, then repeat. Now, when it comes to this specific activity, it's especially important to follow the progression. For the first 2 weeks, do 3 sets of 12 repetitions using both legs. After 2 weeks, you can progress to the truly transformative version, the single-leg heel raise. The Stanford study found that following this exact progression doubled the improvements. Stand on just your right foot and perform the same movement. A powerful rise, a 3-second hold at the top, and a slow, controlled descent. Your balance will be challenged. This is a good thing. It's activating all the tiny stabilizer muscles that give you unshakable confidence on real stairs. Aim for 3 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions on each leg every other day. And there you have it. The secret isn't one thing, but 5. It's the endurance from the wall sit, the control from the step down, the stability from the hip abduction, the power from the sit to stand, and the explosive spring from the heel raise. Together, they rebuild the complete movement pattern that makes stairs feel easy again. This isn't about becoming a super athlete. It's about reclaiming a fundamental freedom. It's about not having to think twice before going upstairs. It's about choosing the scenic overlook with a few steps, knowing you can handle it. It's about making your world bigger again. Which of these insights, perhaps it was our foundational habit number 5 for endurance, or maybe our game-changing revelation number 1 for explosive power, resonated with you the most? Which one are you thinking of trying first? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story could be the encouragement someone else needs to start their own journey. If you found this valuable, please give this video a thumbs up so more people can find this community. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Until next time, stay strong, stay curious, and keep climbing.